The villagers always called me wise and brave, but I never thought much of it. I was just Christabel, a teenage girl who liked reading under the baobab tree and making sure my little brother Kola stayed out of trouble. But everything changed the night he disappeared into the dark forest. It was a stormy night, the kind where the sky growls and the wind howls like a wild animal. I was fetching water when Mama burst out of the house, her face pale. "Kola is gone," she cried. I dropped the bucket and ran inside, calling his name. No answer. Papa found his tiny footprints leading to the forest's edge. The villagers shook their heads, muttering about the curse, the shadows that swallowed anyone who dared enter. No one offered to help. I couldn't just stand there. Kola was my brother. Without thinking, I grabbed our lantern and whispered, "I'll bring him back." Mama tried to stop me, but I was already running toward the forest. The moment I stepped into the woods, the air grew colder, thicker, as though the forest itself was watching me. The trees loomed like silent giants, their twisted branches clawing at the sky. My lantern's flickering light barely held back the creeping darkness. "Christabel!" I froze. My name hung in the air, soft and chilling. I turned slowly, my heart pounding. "Who's there?" I called, trying to sound braver than I felt. Laughter answered, a giggle sharp and distorted. It sounded like Kola, but wrong. "Kola," I whispered. I followed the sound, my breath catching when I saw a faint glow at the base of an ancient tree. It was his red scarf, caught in the roots. As I reached for it, whispers erupted around me, low and overlapping. "Leave while you can. You shouldn't be here. He's ours now." I gritted my teeth and yanked the scarf free. "You can't have him." That's when I saw it, a shadowy figure emerging from the mist. Its hollow eyes glowed faintly, and its voice echoed like wind through a canyon. "You should not have come," it said. "Your brother belongs to me." I gripped the lantern tighter. "I'm not leaving without him." The spirit chuckled, a sound that made my skin crawl. "Then face the test of the forest. If you fail, you both stay forever." The ground shifted beneath me and I was falling. When I opened my eyes, I was in a clearing surrounded by mirrors. Each one reflected a version of me, some familiar, some twisted and cruel. I shivered as they began to speak. "You're scared," one sneered. "You think you're brave, but you're just pretending," another hissed. "You blame yourself for Kola," a third accused. Their voices swirled around me, louder and louder, threatening to drown me in doubt. My legs wobbled, but I planted my feet firmly. "Yes, I'm scared," I said, my voice shaking but steady. "Yes, I have doubts, but Kola is my brother and I love him. That love is stronger than my fear." The mirrors shattered one by one, their shards dissolving into nothingness. Ahead of me, a path of light appeared. At the end of the path, I found Kola sitting beneath the ancient tree, his face pale, his eyes wide with terror. The shadowy spirit loomed over him, its form shifting and trembling. "You passed the test," it hissed, "but the boy is still mine." I stepped forward, raising the lantern. Its light burned brighter with every step, casting the shadows back. "You have no power over us," I said, my voice strong. "Be gone!" The spirit shrieked as the light consumed it, its form dissolving like smoke in the wind. The oppressive darkness lifted, and the air grew warm again. I knelt beside Kola, who blinked at me with tears in his eyes. "Christabel," he whispered. I hugged him tightly. "I've got you. Let's go home." The forest seemed almost peaceful as we walked out, the trees parting like they were bowing. When we reached the village, the people stared in disbelief. Mama sobbed as she held Kola, and Papa clapped me on the shoulder. The elders called me brave, a protector, but I didn't feel like a hero. I was just a sister who loved her brother too much to let fear win. Even now, I don't talk much about what happened that night. But I'll never forget one thing. Love is the strongest light in the darkest places.